All right, everybody. Welcome to Buying Random Stuff with VT Spanky. So the way this works is I'm going to buy a random item off of eBay, and the way I'm going to determine what that random item is I'm going to search a random word and buy whatever the cheapest possible item on eBay is. And then wherever the video goes from there, it depends on the item. So we'll just have to wait and see. The way I'm going to do this is with this randomwordgenerator.com here. So it'll generate a random word, for example, the word heat over here on the right. I'm going to click the generate random words button 3 times, and on the third click, that's the word that we're going to stick with and that we're going to search. So, 1, responsible. 2, window. 3, motorist. Motorist. So that ought to be interesting. Maybe something automobile related, perhaps. So let's type this into the search bar here. So we have motorist. All right, let's see what we get here. Motorist. We want to just do buy it now, not trying to do auction things. Want to do that. We haven't searched, or we haven't sorted by price yet, but you know, some interesting things here. Or some not interesting things there. Well, and that's special. Yeah, that's interesting. So let's go sort price shipping lowest first and see what it comes up with. And we are going to view all results because sometimes eBay kicks off some results. So what do we got here? We've got veteran motorist Magic the Gathering. So that's actually kind of funny that it ends up being Magic the Gathering cards that we're going to buy. So let's see, what kind of card is this? It's veteran motorist. It's 4 times veteran motorist playset. So it's red, white colors. It's a creature. It's a dwarf pilot. Ooh, and it's from the Kaladesh set, I believe. Is that right? Maybe is that the symbol for Kaladesh? I think so. So let's see, what do we have? Yeah, so it's got the KLD down at the bottom. When veteran motorist enters the battlefield, scry 2, so look at the top of your deck for 2 cards. You can put 1 or more of them on the bottom of your deck. Whenever veteran motorist crews a vehicle, that vehicle gets +1/+1 until end of turn. I have not played with vehicles before. I do think I have some in my collection, so I think the way this might work out is I'm going to buy this playset and then try to build a Magic the Gathering deck around it and see if I can actually play it. That would be maybe kind of interesting. So let's buy it now. All right, orders in. Should get it by Monday, April 20th. All right, they finally arrived. Let's tear it open. See what we got. All right, we have, in plain white envelope and single sleeve, we have 4 times veteran motorist, uncommon card from the Kaladesh set, and it reads, it is a red-white, so it's Boros colors. Veteran motorist, creature, dwarf pilot. When veteran motorist enters the battlefield, scry 2. Whenever veteran motorist crews a vehicle, that vehicle gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And then it's got the flavor text says, he's set to compete in every race at the fair, and he plans to win them all. He's a 3/1 base power and toughness. So now that I have these in hand, I need to put together a deck to play them in, because that's my goal. I mean, I got to use them. I bought them. So I need to build a deck to play them in. So next step is get out all my Magic cards, see if I can build a deck. Full disclosure, never actually built a deck in paper Magic before. I've built a couple on Arena, but of course there I have access to a lot more cards. Here I'm limited to just what I have in my box. So we'll have to see how that goes. So I might not have an unlimited amount of Magic cards to choose from for this deck, but I do have enough to get started from a few different sets. I think the first step in all this is going to be to go through and pull out all the vehicles I have, since that's really the payoff that I want with Veteran Motorist. And then see what else I can find that's kind of in the Boros red-white colors. See if I can come up with anything. As you can see, most of my cards are in the current standard, so Guilds of Ravnica, Ravnica Allegiance, War of the Spark, Core 2020, and Throne of Eldraine. That's probably where most of the cards are going to come from is the current standard, but, you know, I'm not going to limit myself. Probably be more of like a you know, Pioneer deck. Not that this is going to be any kind of competitive deck at all. Just something fun to see if I can make it work. Anyway, let's see what I can come up with. Alright, so I've got my Veteran Motorist down here. So I went ahead and grabbed all my vehicles, and I'm just going to throw all those in the deck, because I don't have that many, but I have a few. So I've got Consulate Dreadnought from Aether Revolt. I've got the Fell Flagship from Ixalan. I've got the Heart of Kirin from Aether Revolt. And then I've got 2 Enchanted Carriage from Throne of Eldraine. And then I've also got the Shadowed Caravel from Ixalan. So I don't really have that much that's going to benefit me from using vehicles other than the Veteran Motorist. But this is kind of where I wanted to start, because that's really my ultimate goal. I just want to use Veteran Motorist, crew a vehicle, and attack and see what happens. So, what else did I come up with? Well, early on in my digging, I did come up with 2 decent enchantments. So one of them being Assemble the Legion. So at the beginning of your upkeep, put a muster counter on Assemble the Legion, then put a 1/1 red and white soldier creature token with haste onto the battlefield for each muster counter on Assemble the Legion. So each turn you get cumulatively more muster counters, and then you get to put cumulatively more tokens out there. Then I also have Divine Visitation, which anytime one or more creature tokens would be created on under your control, that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance are created instead. Using these, I'm going to try to shoot for something that has kind of creature token payoffs and go with that route. You know, a handful of creatures here that have some token payoffs. So Hunted Witness creates a 1/1 token when he dies. I have Fervent Champion just because it's a good card. It's a hasty card. I did end up going just humans with all my creatures. That was just kind of something that I fell into and wanted to see what happened. Even though Veteran Motorist is a dwarf pilot, he's actually the only non-human I think that I have. But, you know, trying to go for some tribal synergy there maybe. So Fervent Champion and Sky Knight Vanguards, flying, and whenever he attacks, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, so that's good. Inspiring Veteran, other knights get +1/+1, so I have quite a few knights in this also, so human knights. Got 10th District Legionnaire just for something a little hastier. Then Anointer Priest, which is a human cleric, and whenever a creature token enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So that's got kind of a good token payoff. Then we have Hero of Precinct 1. This one, whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. So that's good since I'm in red-white color, so decent chances to hit tokens off of that. Then have a couple Sky Knight Legionnaires. That's just, again, flying for evasion and haste. Then a couple True Fire Captives just to have something a little bit bigger. Can also mentor other things, so put 1/1 counters on other creatures. And then anytime he's dealt damage, he deals that much damage to target player. So it's just a way to kind of sneak in some damage to your opponent or keep them from doing too much. Then I have a couple legendaries just for the heck of it because I had them. So one being Kari Zev, who anytime she attacks, she creates a 2/1 red monkey creature token, which, if I have Divine Visitation out, becomes a 4/4 angel. But granted, it gets exiled at the end of combat, but, you know, that's how it goes. Then I also have Danitha Capuchin, Paragon. So it's a legendary human knight, has First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, and aura and equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. I don't have a whole lot of things in here that are going to benefit from that, but a couple things, so that was enough. So then some of the other things I have in here, I have a couple instances. So Settle the Wreckage, Justice Strike, which target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Then a couple shocks, nothing crazy there. Then some on the enchantment side of things, do have Conclave Tribunal, have a couple Pacifism And then I have a couple angelic gift to give creatures flying in case I have some of these other creatures or some of these tokens that I just need that evasive maneuver just to get in a little extra damage. As far as mana base, I have 6 plains, 6 mountains, some Boros Guildgate, Stone Quarry, Windscarred Crag that gains you some life when it enters the battlefield. Desert of the True adds white mana, also has cycling on it, so if I get in a bind later in the game and start drawing these, I can at least cycle it to get another card, get some card draw. Have 1 Fabled Passage because that's all I own. And then I have Unclaimed Territory, which I threw this deck together in like a half hour digging through my box and not entirely sure what I'm doing, but I think I've got something. It's at least playable. I'm just excited to get to play a Veteran Motorist and that I did have some vehicles, and I at least came up with something, you know, the human knight creature token payoff thing. Just something, at least I had sort of a theme to the deck instead of just grabbing some red and white cards and throwing them in there. Anyway, the only thing left now is to play with it and see what happens.
Oh, not sucky cards.
Do you go on first? Play Veteran Motorist. Crew this, so I'm tapping that. Power 3, and then crewing this, and when this crews this, it gets +1/+1. I'll play this and enchant this creature to give them flying, and then
I can't block it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. I think this was kind of a cool way to play Magic, actually, and to get some ideas, finally motivate me to build a deck. Definitely fun digging through my cards, at least trying to see how things might work together. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Loser.